This is KCRG TV 9 News at 6.
Missing pecans has led to an I-9 investigation that has found Washington County's top conservation officer has violated the laws he's charged with enforcing and has cost taxpayers thousands of dollars in fines.
It all started with a workplace safety violation. TV 9's chief investigative reporter Josh Scheinblum is here tonight to explain.
Beth and Bruce's County Conservation Director, Steve Anderson, is responsible for overseeing law enforcement on county-owned land. He's been in that role since 1984. After he was cited late last year for hunting deer without a license, we also found several federal safety violations, including one for county workers picking pecans. But county records show no program for picking pecans, which started us on a search to find out whatever happened to the pecans these public workers picked.
Try to get as many as he could in a week's time so the squirrels and the birds didn't get them. Could be half a day just picking pecans, sometimes a full day.
Former Washington County Conservation Officer Mark Evans says he was one of several workers who helped harvest pecans from trees on county land.
Who did these pecans go to?
I never saw him go anywhere but in Anderson's truck to go home.
Investigators from the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration found that in 2017, employees climbed into a bucket attached to a tractor similar to this one here without a harness in order to harvest the nuts.
A camper came to him and says, "Isn't that an OSHA violation?" And he laughed and said, "Only if they catch me doing it."
Even complained to OSHA. That eventually led to fines totaling $5,200 for serious safety violations.
Hi, Mr. Anderson.
Hi.
Josh Scheinblum with Channel 9. How are you?
We were able to ask Anderson about the pecans at a Board of Supervisors meeting this week.
Yeah, we made a mistake out there, and we addressed it, and we have moved forward, and we have a great safety record, and we're moving forward and doing well here.
But emails we received from an open records request show Anderson made light of the violations, joking about buying beer and drinking on the job. When regulators required the county post paperwork on his building's door, he joked, "There was so much paperwork, I hope the building does not end up dangerously dark."
We've obtained several of your emails that were sent to Human Resources where you make jokes about the violations, drinking on the job.
No, never happened.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Steve,
Would you regret that?
You don't have to talk to me.
I'm done with you.
I'm sorry. And your name is?
Washington County Auditor Dan Widmer interrupted and cut our interview short. Widmer did not explain why. But Anderson has been in trouble before. The most recent case was just last year for hunting with an expired license, taking 7 deer with it. That led to a $100 fine and no other charges. The Iowa DNR told us that was up to officer discretion.
Anybody else would have been charged, in my opinion, for the full 7, and their guns taken away.
It's not the first time that Anderson has been in trouble with the law for similar crimes. In 2013, he faced 2 other charges for illegal hunting.
Get that camera. You shut that camera off.
This is a public
Shut
meeting.
it off. The meeting hasn't started. Shut the camera off.
Washington County Supervisor Stan Stoops is also a member of the County Conservation Board, which oversees Anderson. He voted to give Anderson a raise, even after his DNR citations and OSHA fines. In an email earlier this year, Stoops called those offenses personal and said Anderson has done a superior job. We asked him to explain that on camera.
Is it a good use of taxpayer money?
We're preparing for a meeting right now. So I'm not talking to you. Yeah.
Would you speak with us after the meeting?
No.
He declined. Evans sent a letter to Stoops and the County Conservation Board in 2017, warning of what he called Anderson's lack of concern for employee safety. His list of examples included the same violations that prompted fines from OSHA the next year, but Evans says nothing changed. That's one reason he decided to resign.
I couldn't see myself working for a department that was willing to ignore all of these problems.
As for those pecans, earlier this year, Anderson told us he donated the nuts, but never told us where. When we asked him face-to-face this week, he had a different story.
We actually took some home.
You took them home?
Not very many, but yeah, some.
Anderson insists all those who have used county property to pick pecans with him volunteered to do so, and that they did it on their own time. Washington County ended up settling its OSHA fines for just over $2,600. And we should note Anderson's raise was tied in with all other conservation employees who work for him. But those emails joking about safety violations we told you about shouldn't come as a surprise to some elected officials like Stoops, as Anderson had also sent them copies. In studio, Scheinblum, KCRG TV 9 News.